morning everyone, and welcome back to another vlog. Today is Sunday and it is gorgeous out. It's daylight savings time. Our days are finally a little bit longer and it is sunny and beautiful out today. So Matt and I are taking advantage of the good weather and we are going to go out to the woods and start marking where we want to clear brush. Matt has had a dream to create a little pumpkin patch and we just want to extend our yard space a little bit if we can. So we need to go out and mark kind of where we want to clear so that we know where to start and stop before we rent big machinery. So I'm walking out to the coop to see if I can find the flagging. I used it last year and I cannot remember where I put it. I have flags, but we want the flagging tape that we can wrap around the trees. So I'm gonna go hunt that down and then I will take you for a walk in the woods and show you what we're doing. I was thinking it might be out here in the garden house chicken coop, and it does not appear to be. I've been trying to like organize stuff so like all the garden stuff is in one place, and I thought I might have put it out here because we were using it for the garden beds last year, but it appears that is not the case. So we're gonna head out to the barn, see if I can find it there. I was just looking in the barn for the flagging and look what I found. This is like an old dinner bell. I'm totally hanging this up. How did I not see that before? Okay, we got flagging tape, we got front tires for the riding mower, we got chain so that we can drag some dead wood out of the woods when we clear this area, and just some maintenance stuff for the lawnmower. Anything else? I think that was it. So now we are headed home, back to do what we originally planned to do. There's always like a side trip to the store. You just never have what you need despite having everything in the world.
It's called a side quest.
Side quest. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so all of this in here is what we want to clear out. We kind of want to like extend the yard and just square this off a little bit. Most of what is in here is brush, invasive species, dead trees that have been suffocated by bittersweet or who knows what else. So we just want to clear this out and give it a fresh start. This is where Matt wants to put his little pumpkin patch. Hopefully we'll get a little more sun. It'll just be more usable space. So we're gonna start walking along kind of where we want to create a perimeter of the clearing, and just flagging it so we have an indicator. Ooh, muddy.
Yeah.
So I say it's gonna be a mess.
That's gonna be rough.
I just hope you don't get stuck. This dead one will probably come down, but we're gonna try to keep as many healthy trees as we can in here because we like the trees. We just want to get rid of all of this like messy brush stuff. It's just a nightmare. And now's a good time to clear it because we can get in here more easily. It's not, you know, filled with leaves. So like I would love if once we get rid of this stuff we have like ferns and just like nice sort of woodsy like things growing back in and giving this space life. It's just overrun with whatever all of this is. So I'm really excited to see this space just come back to life. Like some of these vines, look at the one that Matt has right there. It's just crazy. Looks like a snake wrapped around the tree. This right here is yet another reason why we want to clear the brush, because these ticks are everywhere. Now we are up on the septic mound, so we're on the other side. So you can't really see it from here, but basically we're gonna start to clear behind this wood pile kind of cut through it like a curve all the way down to the swampy area and where we entered over there. So there's a majority of these trees are going to stay. Anything that's dead right here in the front will be taken down, cut up, and moved, and all the brush will be cleared out. So it's definitely going to be a big project, but I think it will help immensely with this area and, like I said, make it a more usable space, which is always nice to have. And we'll see how far we can get and how quickly we can get some pumpkins in the ground over there. Look what's popping up! Oh my god, this is thrilling. I can't remember if these are my garlic or my shallots, but almost every single one in all 3 rows here are popping up. Actually 4 rows. Look at them! So exciting. And then these over here are the other one, whichever these are not, but they're not popping up yet, so we'll see if those come up. Since we have the garlic popping up, it reminded me that I put a bunch of bulbs in other places, and this, we're right at the corner of the kitchen garden here, and I put some alliums in, and we have some things popping up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully that means they're happy and we'll have some beautiful like globe-like flowers over here, and I'm pretty sure they're perennials. So this would be kind of the start of my little perennial garden around the outside. Since I'm already out here, I figured I would keep working with the flagging tape and actually mark out the garden beds I was thinking for the outside of the kitchen garden, just to get a better visual and whether or not it would work. I'm also going to run inside and grab the jar of powdered eggshell we made last week so that I can start to mix that into one of the garden beds. Okay, I think this better illustrates what I was trying to describe the other week without the flagging tape. So the flagging tape indicates anywhere there would be a little bed. I've kept it open where the walkways are so we can maintain those walkways. But anything in the flagging tape would be some sort of perennial or annual, just to give it that cottage garden feel, give it a little bit of a textured look, add some color, attract pollinators and things that are friendly to the garden. So I could go either way. It's hard. I don't want it to feel too like start, stop. But I think once we have plants in there, it would probably be fine. The other thing I like, especially on each of the corners here and here, is not having plants right up against the fence. I think that will help keep the fence in better condition because things aren't like leaning on it. I mean, people have fences that things touch and go through and it looks adorable and it's perfectly fine, but you know, in an effort to also maintain this walkway, it kind of works out in our favor. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. The other option would be to do a bed like this and a bed like this, square it off and keep that whole end section open like I mentioned last week, but I think this would be nice. So now that I see it kind of surrounded in flagging tape looking more like beds, it's easier to visualize, and I think I'm leaning in favor of this. So if you have any thoughts on why I shouldn't do this, do let me know in the comments, or if you have any other ideas, I'd love to hear what you think before we start digging them up and prepping for plants. But I'll let it marinate a little bit more just to make sure I'm sure about it, and then we can start to think about what we're going to plant and where. Last garden task for today is taking the eggshell powder that we made in last week's vlog and sprinkling it in one of the beds. Obviously this is not enough to cover a whole bed, but you know, we'll keep creating this and adding it to the beds as we can. If you're interested in how we made this, check out last week's vlog. So I think I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it in one end, try to spread it out as evenly as possible, and then I don't have a little rake, but I just brought my little garden shovel and I'll just kind of like mix it into the soil so it's not just sitting on top. And that's it. It's pretty easy to do, and we'll continue, like I said, to add it to other beds as we have it, but in the meantime it's just a little extra boost for this bed. That was super easy. So you can see like I sprinkled a bunch on and then I just kind of took my shovel and like twisted and massaged it into the soil so it wasn't just sitting on top to blow away. And actually I still have a decent amount left in the jar. I mean, I don't know if I put it on thick enough, but I'm just gonna sprinkle this into this middle bed and see how far we can get that to go so that we have 2 beds with eggshell powder in them. So now both of these beds here are topped with eggshells. We mixed it in, raked it in, and we just let it sit. When we go to plant things, hopefully that'll give it a little bit of nutrients and help things grow a little better than last year. You helping? We are inside, all showered, did a full tick check to make sure none of the ticks made it through the clothes, which does happen every now and then. So just a reminder, if you're out there as the weather starts getting warmer, walking through the woods, walking through grasses, make sure you check for ticks. They love to sneak on for a ride. So yeah, better safe than sorry. Matt made dinner. He made a fancy stroganoff. I made macarons, which they're okay, not my best. I don't think I let them sit long enough and develop like a skin, so they're fine. They're edible, but I've done better. I'm going to grab a basket of laundry, bring it upstairs, fold some laundry in bed, and maybe keep watching season 2 of Full Swing, which is a golf docuseries on Netflix. It's awesome if you haven't watched it and you're into golf. And then I'm gonna probably go to bed. It's been a long day and the hour of sleep that we lost catches up with you fast, but I've never been more happy to give up an hour of sleep to get light in the evenings. So, not sure what's on the docket tomorrow, but I will catch up with you then. Happy Monday, everyone. I'm outside with Junie, and I'm just standing here staring at my perennial bed flagging, and it's growing on me. I was thinking about it more last night, and I figure, you know, worst case, this doesn't work, and it's just a little garden bed, and we, you know, plant grass there. It's not that hard to switch something of this scale up, so I don't want that to be a blocker. Still interested to see if folks have any other thoughts or are thinking about something that I'm not thinking of, so definitely let me know in the comments. But I think it's worth giving it a shot, and if it's just not working, we can always change it later. It's hard for me, like I'm a very visual person, so it's hard for me to picture the plants there. Like I know what I want, I know what the end goal is, but even the flagging, I'm like, will it work, won't it work? So this is just one of those things where you gotta go for it and you can always change later. That's one of the reasons I think I love outdoor work, landscaping, gardening, things like that so much, because it's easy to pivot and it's very forgiving. So you don't need things to be absolutely perfect in every scenario. It's just organic, and you can kind of just go with it or work with what you have. And sometimes I need that like variation, because a lot of our indoor projects, woodworking, things like that, are very precise projects. And I get frustrated because I just want to move fast, but I know I need to be precise. So this is a good mix. But anyway, I'm rambling. So I was just gonna flip you around really quickly and show you the patio space we were thinking of and how that's like totally blocked by the sun, because the house is there. So it's just like very sunny today, so you can see it very obviously. And but that's also making me realize that all of our perennial gardens are in sun, and that's a good thing because flowers like sunshine. This is basically what it would be on a sunny day. So this corner over here is where our patio space would be, and then like this shadow here and here are from the house. So the sun is kind of coming up around this way, and that's just never gonna change. So the more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm pretty sure that I want to wrap around the 3-season porch and also do a little patio space over here, which, as you can see, as the sun comes around, is more in the sun. This little corner has shade, but by the afternoon we've got full sun over here, and I know that I'm gonna want to sit in a toasty warm spot, so having both sides with a little seating space is just a good option. And like I said before, neither of them are going to be very big, but you know, when it's a hot, sweaty day, we'll have a shaded spot on the other side, and on those cooler days or in the afternoons when the sun is going down and the heat is cooling down, we'll have a nice warm spot to sit here. Matt also did reserve a backhoe, so over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, we're going to be jumping right into that clearing project. Before spring really hits and things start filling in, it's definitely easier to clear it before all the leaves come in, so we're jumping onto that to take advantage of the end of this winter, early spring season. So I will definitely be sharing that, though it might be more next week and not in this week's vlog. But very exciting. I'm just standing out here kind of imagining it, like, you know, trying to take it all in, and I'll definitely have to take a lot of before and after photos and videos so that we have that for documenting. I meant to show you yesterday, but my chives are already starting to come back. So you can see we have a few new greens right down here. This one I had in a plastic pot that Junie dragged out to the middle of the yard and destroyed the pot from, but the whole thing stayed intact, so I just plopped it here for now. I'll probably put that in a new pot. And then these over here have some more new greens as well. So I'm not too worried about the chives I planted inside because I have plenty, honestly more than we'll ever need in the season out here. But it's exciting to see things start to pop up. I'm all bundled up and walking back to the wood pile here because Matt and I are going to move it on top of the septic mound so that when he is clearing all this brush and trees later this week and next, it's not in the way. And that way we'll also have a nice visual when we look out the big window in our living room to this beautiful wood pile. So Matt's bringing the lawnmower and the bucket around so we can fill that up and save our backs, and I'm gonna pop you on a time lapse. Like much, but it's quite the stack over here. Lots of wood to split. Still more to move over in this pile, but you can almost not even see it because most of the rest of it's covered in leaves. But we made lots of good progress, so hopefully later this week we can wrap the rest of it up so that those are all moved in preparation for Matt to start clearing. That is all for today. We are getting cold, the sun is starting to go down, and we are hungry. Matt has been cooking a pot roast all night, or not all night, it is daytime. He's been cooking a pot roast all day so that we can make French dip sandwiches, mashed potatoes, and some kind of veggie. So we're gonna clean up, go inside, and yeah, have dinner. We are showered again, did a full tick check, and I was like, ooh, it's chilly in the house, I should turn the heat up. And then I realized that we didn't have any power. So we were supposed to get power back by 7, and now it says 11. So I busted out all my pillar candles. Well, not all of them, I've got a lot more. But I busted out some of them. And we are cooking by candlelight, thank goodness for a gas stove, because we could wrap up the pot roast. Matt was cooking all day in the crock pot. I made some mashed potatoes, Matt's making some gravy, and is that it? Oh, he's gonna make some horseradish. He's gonna make some horseradish mayo, and then I'm gonna toast the buns in a pan, and then we should be good to go. So this has been a fun turn of events. Good morning again. I'm outside. It is a little brisk out. As you can see, the sun is out, and I figured it would be a good day to take some photos of the brush we're going to clear back here. It's supposed to get a little bit cloudy and rainy later this week, so I wanted to get some good before photos before we start leveling it, basically. So I'm going to snap some photos on my camera and then get back inside and warm up with a cup of coffee. Sun is out. Back inside with a cup of coffee. My hands are frozen, so this is acting as my hand warmer. I got a lot of great shots, but my hands were getting cold, so it was time to get in. We've got plenty of photos now, so hopefully at the end of this project I can write up a blog post and kind of share the whole process and share before and after and progress shots. I've been wanting to write more for the blog, but I can only divide myself so many times, and I've been focused on the blog, so hopefully you've been enjoying that. But I will try to get back to the blog eventually once I have a good routine with the vlog here. But either way, I'm going to warm up, get to work, and I will bring you outside with me later if the sun is still out. I am back outside before the sun goes down in a few hours to keep moving the cut wood back to the wood pile we started stacking yesterday. I'm not going to film it because you've seen enough wood stacking, you get the idea. And we'll see if I have time to shoot a few more pictures as the sun is going down. I forgot I actually have a nail appointment tonight, so I might not be able to squeak in photos before the sun goes down, but either way, I have somehow managed to keep my long nails for like 4 months straight, and I have no idea how, because I used to be a nail biter like crazy, so something happened, something clicked, and I'm going with it because they look so much better. So I'm gonna go help Matt, and I will catch up at the end of it. Alright, nails are done. I got a like peachy pink color. I did keep them somewhat long, but I had them trimmed down a little bit because if I start with them too long, by the time I get the next manicure, several of them are broken. I have not forgotten about starting seeds. The next big batch really doesn't have to be started until closer to the end of March, and I'm waiting closer to the tail end if I can, just so I don't have things started too early. So I may have time to squeeze them into the next vlog, but if not, the following vlog is going to be a big seed starting vlog. I'm going to run downstairs really quickly and show you an update on the seedlings, because I did promise those once a week and I completely forgot to show you because I was so busy with other things. And then I am going to wrap the vlog up here because we have a busy next vlog ahead of us. Alright, so oregano, wild bergamot, and rosemary are doing pretty well. Rosemary's in the back there. No chives, but like you saw earlier in the garden, we've still got plenty, so I'm just gonna let that one go. But this one's getting so big. I think I'm gonna have to raise the lights soon or move this to a different shelf where I can put the lights higher. And then next to that, we've got columbine here on the left, just starting to pop through. False indigo are thriving. Lavender are happy. Yarrow's happy. And then on the right, we also have some viola just starting to pop up. So overall, pretty good germination rate, I would say, and mostly just thrilled with the false indigo. I had no hopes of those coming up, and I've got tons of them, so that will be great to add to the perennial gardens. And then in our upper tray, we've got Lisianthus on the left. Like, if you look really closely, there's a tiny green speck there. The lisianthus are teeny weeny, but they are coming up, so I'm hoping they're just a little bit slow. And then the snapdragons over here are pretty happy. Lots of those popping up. They're a little bit ahead of the lisianthus, but that is okay. I'm just excited to see so many little green sprouts. The one I'm most excited about this week are the sweet peas. We have a couple of them starting to pop through. So as soon as we get a few more popping up, I think I'm gonna bring this tray outside. Once they start to pop through, they'll start reaching for the light. So if they don't have a good source of light, like here it's kind of filtered through the window, it's not all day, it's not direct, they'll start to get leggy and weak. So I wanna make sure they have as much sun as possible as soon as they're popping through the soil. So once we get a few more, I'm gonna bring this outside and hope for the best. I also wanted to update you on some of the plants we've been propagating. So we've got big roots growing off of them now. You can see this one's really long, which is super exciting. I don't know if you can see this one. It's kind of under the water there. So, so yeah, things are looking good. Still very slow, but they're happy. I do have to change the water. And then I'm hoping that in the next few weeks I could get these in some soil and see if they will take. The pothos are growing some really strong roots, which is amazing. These are probably good to go in soil sooner rather than later. And we've even got new growth still growing as they're sitting in the water here. So that's it for seedling updates this week. We've seen some really good steady growth, so fingers crossed it just keeps going. I will be sure to update you again next week. Thank you so much for watching this week. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future updates. I will catch up with you in the next vlog with our biggest project yet.